afternoon, and good evening to you all. Welcome to Friday's edition of the Full 100, the last edition of the week. It's Friday the 13th, guys. Um, guys, so I got some breaking news from out of the UK today. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be touching on it on today's show. Today's show was already pre-planned. The breaking news is that Dominic Cummings, if you ask me in my opinion, the most evil person in the UK, who found himself sitting right next to our Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, has finally left the government. But Dominic Cummings was responsible for the lies that led to Brexit happening. He led that team. He led the lies, the misinformation, the disinformation. All of this fake news that we're suffering now was all part of that. Talking about Turkey are going to join the EU and all of that stuff, which was lies. He's finally left the government. If you ask me, he was also, I believe, behind the "we're not feeding the children outside of school" terms. With Boris Johnson's stance on that issue, which obviously he's done a U-turn on, calling what's his name, Marcus Rashford, to say, yeah, we're going to be doing this. If you ask me, he's behind all of the evil decisions leading to now and would have led on to the future. And I'll tell you one last thing as well. So far, the Brexit deal, the lack of a deal for Brexit is going to hurt the UK big time. We saw it when the pandemic began and we couldn't get any PPEs and we had to go to Turkey because we weren't part of the EU. The EU was putting in a bulk order. Little England was putting in their order. In the end, we had to go to Turkey. Turkey couldn't deliver it. We had to send a plane to go get it. When we got it, it was all rubbish. It didn't fit. It was not the quality. You know, that was an example for anyone who's watching what's going to happen if we leave without a deal. Now, this guy, there's 6 days left to make a deal. And this guy, we don't have a deal yet. Dominic Cummings, in my opinion, was looking for a no-deal Brexit, like literally the worst kind of Brexit possible. And he didn't care who they took down the drain with them. That was never going to be good for anybody, not the country, not you, not me. Unless you're wealthy and you're like these conservatives who voted for Brexit, but then moved their businesses to Ireland so that their businesses can remain in the EU while they're telling you to leave the EU. So guys, we're going to come to that topic on Monday because that is huge UK political story. So I'll put a show together amongst other things for Monday. But today's show, guys, is about showing you guys the difference between a banana republic and true Democrats. Okay, so guys, without further ado, let's get down to today's show. I've got a series of videos to back what I'm saying to you guys, and my first video is basically have a look at what things were like 4 years ago when Hillary lost. Okay, let's remind ourselves that Hillary won the vote by 3 million people. So in any other country, she would have been prime minister or president. In the United States, they got the electoral college. So you can win, only Democrats actually win more people, but can lose the elections. The Republicans, they have to win, if they win more people, they win the vote. But if you're a Democrat, you can have more votes, more people vote for you, but end up losing the presidency, which has happened a couple of times before, as in 2016, where Hillary won by 3 million votes. Just so you know, Biden's leading by 5 million votes. It just happened to win the right combination of states back to make it to the presidency. So guys, take a look at how this thing was 4 years ago, because I know many people today, because of the politics around the whole vaccine thing, they're kind of more watching the politics right now. 4 years ago, I think there was not many people who tuned into it. So this show's going to remind people who were AWOL at that time what politics looks like and how democracy should be. And then we're going to go through a series of videos, guys. So take a look at my first video.
Because they held the exact opposite position when they won an election. CNN's K-File found the ugly truth. Feast on this.
You have people out there calling for recounts that are unsubstantiated based on no evidence. This was a legitimate election, and no one should question the fact that Donald Trump is the president-elect.
It's a fascinating group of these Democrats who can't seem to realize that it is time to move on. It is time to accept the fact that Trump will be the next president of the United States.
Do you think the Democrats are sore losers? Yeah, I do.
The reality is they're a bunch of spoiled crybabies.
Newsflash for many of the partisan Democrats and those in the mainstream media who continue to try to delegitimize President-elect Trump's massive and historic win last month. The election's over. Hillary Clinton lost. You have to win 270 electoral votes to be elected president, and President-elect Trump actually got 306. This is all really just an effort to try to delegitimize the win.
Okay? Shame on them.
Welcome back, guys. Now, do you see how they were going on 4 years ago? This is even though the person who they beat had 3 million people more vote for them. So Trump won and Hillary didn't contest it. Now, picture this scenario. We've all seen what's going on, yeah? He's miles behind in everything, yeah? And yet he's fighting it. Can you imagine what would have happened, yeah? If 1 million more people voted for him, just one, not 3 like Hillary, 1 million more people had voted for this guy, but Biden had won the election. Oh my God. I won't even want to consider where we'll be today. His people will be out there. It's impossible that 1 million people have voted for him and you didn't hear none of that from the Democrats. Guys, now, that's part one. Part two to that same video, yeah? This is how the Democrats reacted. John Kerry was Secretary of State. Even John Kerry doesn't have to congratulate. Nancy Pelosi, who was the minority leader in the Congress, she didn't have to congratulate. The only people really that needed to congratulate, or the only person really, was Hillary. And then maybe Obama, because he was the sitting president who was leaving after his 2 terms. It's chalk and cheese, night and day, the difference in these dark-hearted people. This is how they are. Take a look.
Hillary Clinton, say what you want, she promptly conceded, even though she spanked him in the popular vote. Why? That's what our system demands. Other Democrats swiftly came to terms with Trump's victory. Proof.
We must accept this result and then look to the future. Donald Trump is going to be our president. We owe him an open mind and the chance to lead.
So I have instructed my team to follow the example that President Bush's team set 8 years ago and work as hard as we can to make sure that this is a successful transition for the president-elect.
I want to offer my congratulations to President-elect Donald Trump and wish him well for the American people.
We, of course, were all very disappointed, not more than disappointed, hard to accept the results, but accept we do. The peaceful transfer of power is what America and our democracy is about.
Welcome back, guys. It was, you know what? It was important. This next video here, it was important that I include this because as early as Friday last week, a week ago today, a day before the full election was called, when Trump was still making all his noise, 3 different people I was around were saying to me, "Yo, this is being stolen. They're stealing the election." Well, you don't know. They're stealing the election. So it's important for me to include this clip, this next clip, okay, to show you that this is what Trump does. In 2012, when Obama beat Mitt Romney for his second term, that took him from 2012 to 2016, Trump wasn't running. Trump was not in politics. He just had his Twitter account. Mitt Romney accepted defeat because he was beaten clean. Trump tweeted, "Oh, this is a fix. They're robbing the election. They're stealing the election." He wasn't even involved in the run. Take a look at this video.
Let's put up some of the vote boards in the key races to show how this is not a squeaker. This is not about finding a few ballots or even a few hundred. And that's all recounts generally change. Karl Rove said that too in his op-ed. Wisconsin, Biden's up more than 20,000. Pennsylvania, he's up more than 50,000. In Georgia, he's up more than 14,000. The state announced today it will be holding a full recount. And that should deliver confidence in the outcome. Nobody's saying no recounts where they meet the standard. Nobody's saying don't certify. We're saying don't lie about having proof of some kind of perfidy when it doesn't exist. Because that is enabling a fraud, and you know it. In Nevada, Biden leads now by more than 36,000. In Michigan, Clinton lost to Trump there by under 11,000. She didn't fight it. Trump's suing to stop Michigan from certifying the count. He's down by 146,000. Now, just as gross, you know where Trump didn't want to stop the count? Alaska. Why? CNN just called the race for him today. They've been counting absentee mail-in votes for over a week. Why is that okay? Because he won. Again, this is not about Trump. As I said, he is a revenant at this point. He is a dead man walking because he's not even vital enough to deal with the crisis that is overwhelming this country. He doesn't even talk about the numbers, only himself. That's who he is. It is what it is. And it's ugly, and it's always been. He's always lied when he sees a loss. Proof? Okay. Romney lost to Obama in 2012. Trump, total sham. 2016, primary season, Ted Cruz beats him in the Iowa caucus. What does he say? He didn't win. He stole it. 2016, he loses, right? What does he say? Rigged. Even after he won, he ordered a commission. Why? I only lost a popular vote because 2 million, 4 million, 6 million, because the numbers are all the same to him, right? Just like his net worth. They were all fraudulent. He puts together this commission, headed up by his boy Kobach. You know what they find? Nothing. They had to remove the commission. You know how rare that is? He cried fraud all through the 2018 midterms, claiming people were voting illegally multiple times by changing clothes. Proof? Crickets. And let's not forget one thing. Trump was impeached. And remember why? Shaking down a foreign power to help him fix this election and take down Biden. He is a liar and a cheat.
I'm going to keep telling people when I can that what you're spilling is straight out of, like they say, straight out of Compton, is straight out of Trumpton, straight out of his mouth. I haven't spoken to a single white mate that said the election was stolen. And yeah, I've spoken to at least 4 black guys who believe this election was stolen. So it's important that they see that this is this guy's habit. Stop counting! No, stop counting over there. Keep counting. My numbers are going up. Keep counting. No, keep counting. There's no cheating over there. Oh, there's cheating over there. I'm losing. And yet people are gullible enough to go for it. It's unreal, the world we're living in. Guys, look. Yesterday, breaking news happened. Department of Homeland Security, DHS, got fed up. They literally got fed up and peed off with this guy, their boss. So take a look at this breaking news video that broke last night. They'd never done anything like this before. Take a look.
to DHS officials. Well, this is a statement that was put out today by the Department of Homeland Security. Jeff Bennett with NBC put this out. New statement on election security from DHS. The November 3rd election was the most secure in American history. There's no evidence that any voting system deleted or lost votes, changed votes, or was in any way compromised. Here's what you have right here. You have people who are people of integrity. Mm-hmm. These are people, Greg, who are saying, I'm not getting caught up in that. These are people who are saying, I am career workers. You have these people, all the D state. There are people who are public servants. There are black people, white people, Latinos, Asian, Native Americans who say we serve no matter who is sitting in the Oval Office. These folks on the right, they want to assail all of these folks. They will rather, just like in the Civil War, they will rather burn down this whole thing in order to protect white supremacy.
And that's exactly what they will do.
Welcome back, guys. Now, what you just saw there is unprecedented. And every American should be ashamed that they live in a country where the underlings can tell the public, don't listen to our ruler, don't listen to our boss, don't pay attention to his tweets. Whatever he says is lying, Can you imagine living in a country like that? That's how low America came, guys. And it's sad, really. So, guys, I'm going to go on to my next video now. My second to last video. Now, this guy has been asking, one of the reasons why he's not conceding, he's worried about his legal issues, yeah? And he's been asking questions if he can pardon himself. If he can pardon himself. Now, the good news is, hundreds of years ago, the British made it known that, no one can pardon themselves because you cannot be a judge in your own case. For that simple principle alone, he's in stone. Take a look at this video and then wait till you see my video after this. See you on the other side.
You know, former aides tell CNN that Trump has been talking since 2017, right? So for the past 3 years about whether he could self-pardon, basically pardon himself before he leaves. So one former White House official said Trump asked about self-pardons as well as pardons for his family. Can he do that? Could he pardon himself and anyone else he wanted to for any unknown criminal acts found subsequently before he leaves office?
He could certainly pardon his family, but pardoning himself would be an extraordinary and unprecedented act. Hundreds of years ago, Lord Coke in England established a principle that has been accepted in American law for centuries, and that is that you cannot be a judge in your own case. If he tries to pardon himself, I think in the end, that pardon would not hold up. But predicting what a court would do with such an unprecedented exercise of power is hard. One thing we do know, he certainly cannot pardon himself vis-a-vis New York prosecution, either by Letitia James on behalf of the state of New York or by Cyrus Vance on behalf of Manhattan. State and local crimes, serious crimes, often punishable by years in prison, are not subject to the president's pardon power. Another thing we know is he can't pardon himself from the possible espionage he might commit after leaving office when he leaks secrets for his own benefit, classified information to other governments. He's not been very good at keeping silent. Those future crimes are beyond the reach of the pardon power vis-a-vis both the state and the federal government.
All right.
Welcome back, guys. We're on to my last video now. This video is going to blow your minds. While he's there trying to see if he can get out of all the bad stuff he's done whilst in power, plus all the stuff he's done that he's been ducking and diving that since he ran for president has now caught up with him, he's still committing crimes as we speak. He's still scamming the same poor bastards he's been infecting all this time, telling them not to wear masks and gathering them up, and now America's in a huge crisis. He's still stealing, guys. Watch this.
Of course, and they're using this whole recount thing to raise money. Team Trump has sent about 150 fundraising emails this week asking for help with this effort to invalidate the election. But if you read the fine print, it says 60% of contributions will be sent to the campaign's general election account to pay off the debt they have. Basically, at this point, any money you give to Trump goes towards paying Kimberly Guilfoyle's dry bar bill.
Welcome back, people. Right, we're at the end of the show now. Hope you've enjoyed the show. Look, guys, I'm here to inform you guys and just tell you what to look out for. The Republican Party is, I believe, the most corrupt party in the Western world, in any developed country. The Americans' Republican Party, they are something else. Like Cuomo said, their hearts are colder than wax works in museums around the world. Guys, look, enjoy the weekend. I know it's Friday the 13th. Stay out of trouble. Stay out of the way of any bad thing that might happen. Show some love. Look after each other. It's all peace and love right now. Guys, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all on Monday. Take care. Bye-bye.